Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is another episode of Black and White Takes. Yeah, man, we're gonna get right into it, discussing tonight's national championship game between Houston and Florida. We're gonna get into some politics, guys, with the Trump tariff plan and everything going on in kind of the political climate. Should be an interesting debate, and we're also gonna get into who's gonna be crowning the next green jacket. It's going to be a really interesting episode. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past, but man, this is black and white takes, man, where the takes aren't always so black and white. As always, if you like our videos, be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, Cameron, let's get right into it. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Crazy to think that this is already episode 12. So we are cruising along. 12 of soon we'll be at 1200, but yeah,
Yes,
no,
sir.
it's good to now get a little bit of routine, get a few weeks under our belt. But I'm feeling good. I'm ready to dive right into this.
Yeah, man. So who do you like tonight? Who you on? And why do you like them?
Yes, sir. I mean,
Break it down. Break it
I
down
think
for
I,
us.
I think I mentioned it in our March Madness episode, but I had chosen Florida to win it all. I only made one bracket. I had Florida winning it all from the beginning. Um, this, I will say, this is the matchup that I did not expect. I definitely expected Florida to be playing Duke, and we can touch on that in a little bit. But I think that a quick glance at this, I think this is a matchup that really favors Florida for a number of reasons. But if you just look at the game itself, I always like to fade teams that have big emotional wins like Houston did, to be honest. Just because, well, let's point out that Duke was 335, not Duke, but every single team, I think, in tournament history was 335 and 0 up to the point of the complete meltdown that Duke had at the end of that game. So, long story short, huge emotional win. I would call it an upset, even though they were both number one seeds. So, I'm definitely looking to, fade that, but also, betting on my bracket, really taking Florida. And then I really like Walter Clayton Jr. I think he's going to be the best player on the court. He was against Auburn, and I'm hoping and pretty confident we'll get another big performance from him tonight. What do you think?
Dude, I think you summed it up.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, I think Walter Clayton Jr. is real. He's a real deal. I thought Auburn was going to be able to contain him a little bit more, but I don't see. I mean, dude, I look at it like this. I know I said this to you guys in the group chat. I think Florida just played a better Houston and Auburn, right? Like, I mean, Auburn, they're scrappy defensively. They run sets, struggle to score at times, but really on the defensive end, right? They play very similar. And dude, I mean, Florida can beat Auburn. There, I think this is a cruise for Florida tonight. I don't see how they contain Walter Clayton Jr. No one's been able to contain him, man. Like he gets anything he wants. He dominates the court. He controls the pace of the game. I mean, he really does everything you want your point guard to do. And dude, he's the best player in the country, man. If he's not working his way into the top 10 of the NBA draft, I don't know what NBA scouts are looking for, man, at this point, because that guy can play, flat out play.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, some of the tough finishes he had against Auburn on the bigs, like I don't think Houston can contain him. And I mean, by all means, good luck. But I don't think anyone on Duke is as dynamic of a scorer as Walter Clayton Jr. too. Um, in terms of all around, just being like Duke is really good. They have a lot of size, but they did lack that one thing of a guy who can like every time down the court, get his own shot, create something, and lead a team. I mean, I do think Cooper Flag's the best player in the country. I'm not. This is no disrespect to Cooper Flag or any kind of opinion on him, but in terms of being able to get to your spots on the floor and control the pace of play, that's kind of hard to do through your four, or your three, whatever position you want to play him at. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't see this game going Houston's way. And you made a good point, right? That's more of I guess the sports betting side is after upset win and emotional win like that. I'm kind of fading them, but I think in terms of just basketball, I don't see how they contain this Florida offense that's really clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, man. Well said as well. I see you have a little graphic here that says biggest blowout in CBB history loading. Do you think that Florida actually has a chance to blow these boys out?
Dude, I do. Only because of what you said. I think you made a great point about this upset went over Duke and this like very emotional high. Granted, I don't think Houston is a team though that gets too high or too low. I think that's a
Yeah,
reflection of the head coach. So, but with that being said, I think Florida has just been the steadier team, more reliable team, not going through scoring droughts and things like that. Like, I mean, Houston can rely on their defense, but after an emotional game and kind of a game that you weren't expecting to win, um, I think you see some regression there. And man, people are gonna find out tonight. Like you've been saying, dude, Walter Clayton Jr. is real, and I think he's the best player out there, and he's gonna show the country something tonight.
yeah, nah, I agree, man. And he's gonna, I mean, he's gonna have a big task in front of him. I would say Houston's pretty good on the perimeter defensively, but yeah, I mean, this is just an interesting matchup for a lot of reasons. Florida has been kind of irrelevant in college basketball. Well, not always, but kind of recent.
Since like 2013.
Yeah, it had been a while, but and then you have Houston, and I would say Houston's pretty similar to like a Gonzaga, just in terms of like the success that they've had, especially in the regular season, in their conference. It seems like they're just always a team that competes at a high level during the regular season, has a good handle on their opponents that they're used to facing, and then kind of falls on their face in the tournament. So I think this is a big moment for them in their program.
For sure, man. It's gonna be an interesting night. I'm trying to think of a similar matchup. I kind of do think it is like that Gonzaga Baylor matchup, though.
Mm.
You know, where Baylor just blew out Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Was it 2021?
Yep.
I find it very, very similar to that matchup, right? Gonzaga at the high, hit that buzzer beater, right? Jalen
Yeah.
Suggs hit that buzzer beater against UCLA, end up winning that game, and then they go into against a juggernaut defensively in Baylor and Davion Mitchell and them, and they beat the brakes off Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Um, I could see
Definitely.
it going very similar to that game.
Yeah. No, that's a great comparison. I agree. We definitely are hoping for that.
Yeah. Why are you hoping
So
for that?
I got a bet on Florida. I got them on the money line -110, and then also my bracket. It's nice to, even if I'm not going to win the group, it's nice to know I chose the correct winner. So I'll
Dude,
take it.
you know, it's kind of wild. We have a person in our bracket with I think he's like 99.5 percentile. He
Who?
he Sophion, he wins. You know,
Mm.
Sophion wins regardless of who the winner is tonight.
Does he really?
Yeah. He's that
Wow,
many points ahead of everyone.
that is crazy,
Just a little
man.
shout out to Sophion. That's pretty sharp. Sharp. I've never
Shoot.
seen a I don't think
What
I've
did
ever
he
seen.
shoot? I mean, I'm not going to give him too many flowers because it was all one seeds in the final four. But I mean, no, it is still insane. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I
But
would have to look at previous
yeah, I
brackets
mean,
to
he
see if he's
chose.
done that before.
Yeah,
If he
man, he
does that
still
every
probably choosing
year,
all
then
one seeds. Yeah, he. Let me see. Yeah, he chose all one seeds. So I mean, it's still impressive, but I wonder if he was just clicking through. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I do want to go back into the history of the group and compare them to
Yeah,
previous winners
I
and
was actually
see.
gonna. I was gonna tell you that. So for next year, because you can renew. What you have to do is just renew the same group, and then you can click back through the years.
That would be cool. That'd be
I don't
cool
know.
to
I
see
didn't
who
know
has
if
the
you
most
realized
points.
that.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to think getting all Final Fours right has to be pretty high in the history mark for total points.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hear what you're saying. It is crazy, but I just think that the fact that it was all one seeds, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
It's
I
like
agree.
it is cool to nail the final four, but I mean, there's people that haven't watched a lick of basketball, like someone's mom that's just clicking the higher number and probably and got it all right.
I yeah, no, I hear that. But if he hasn't, that's why I wish I had the history of it. Because if he hasn't done it before, and
Yeah.
this is his first time picking all four number one seeds, that would be pretty sharp, in my opinion. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, definitely. That would be really impressive.
yeah.
Um, that would be
So
really impressive.
so going back to the game, do you think there is any hope for Houston tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think there definitely is, and I'm actually a little nervous. I'm not. This isn't like this is going to be a hot take, but I was actually more confident, and this is probably going to make you hit yourself over the head, but I was more confident against of Florida against Auburn than I am Florida in this game, if I'm being 100% honest.
Why is that?
Um,
I mean, you can
I
you
just
can give the betting side. You don't have to give the basketball breakdown of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like too big of a breakdown on the basketball side. But yeah, I mean, something about the betting side, I do think that like Walter Clayton definitely won the hearts of a lot of people over with the performance he put on. So you do have that aspect of people riding high on Florida, even though Houston just had that big emotional upset in a way. But like I said, I think the biggest thing for me is there is something about this Houston team that, like, for them to win that game, it does say a lot. And again, I talked about their program and how much this game means to them. I mean, it means a lot to every single program, but especially for Houston, just because they really have been a one seed for, I don't know, 3 out of the last 5 years at least. They're a program that's always in this position, and never getting this far. But this is like their one chance. It seems like after beating arguably one of the best college basketball teams ever, to be a beatable team like Florida, that does have its flaws. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just a little nervous about Florida at the same time, but I do lean Florida. I'm confidently betting it, but I'm not like this is the end all be all.
No, I
No
think
sweat.
that is a good take. I think people forget a lot of times Houston isn't actually Gonzaga, right? They went 19-1 in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, against Kansas, right? Like there's solid teams in the Big 12. It's
Yeah.
not a cakewalk schedule every year, like you're going into Texas Tech, you're going into Kansas. I don't know. I know there's been so much realignment. I'm just trying to think of other teams that Baylor, right? You name it. Like it's a hard conference to play in, and they have been underperforming in the tournament.
Yeah.
Um, I think this is big for their head coach, right? He's been coaching for a lot of years, with really nothing to show for. Dude, but for some reason, I think that Gonzaga Baylor game, I keep falling back on that. It screams that to me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be super interesting. But I mean, going back to the NIL stuff, I mean, it is it is interesting, right? Like a Houston team that has been there for a while versus I mean, Florida has some guys that have been there too. I don't want to discredit them and say they are a NBA roster in terms of how they're orchestrated, right? So I think there are similarities to both teams, and it'll be. I mean, it's going to be a great game. I think. I hope.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at what some of the Action Network guys are on. It looks like they're on Houston money line, which is surprising. So I mean,
Really,
yeah, there is a lot of action I saw. I mean, I saw a lot of sharp money coming in on Houston, but I think at this point we do have enough of an analysis. I think just on the trusting Walter Clayton, and this Florida team, and also fading Houston off the emotional win, like where we should feel confident about this play, but there are people that are betting the other side, which I get.
what's it at? What's the money at? Like in term percentage wise?
Let me take a quick look. It is. Where are we at? Yeah, so the bets are on Florida, but the money's on Houston.
By a lot.
56 to 44,
Oh, that's not crazy.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad, but we'll see. I mean, I'm seeing some people in here just taking Florida money line straight up. Um,
Dude, but you got to think too. I mean,
wow, there's
yeah,
a lot of Walter Clayton under props that people are betting.
dude, yeah, it's a moment for him, man. It is a big moment for him. I don't think we're talking about that enough, right? Like what did he average, like 18 points per game in the regular season, and right now he's had a couple, I think, back-to-back 30-point games, um, and has hit a huge second half against Auburn, a huge second half against Texas Tech, and two like massive, last minute of that game hitting two threes.
Yeah.
So I mean, dude, he's been clutch. He's been clutch. Is it gonna? What kind of game is he gonna show it with? Right, like it's gonna be. We're gonna find out who the real Walter Clayton Jr. is, right? And that's what we're
Yeah,
betting. Honestly, we're betting who we think is, the most clutch, the best player in the country, flat out.
exactly. Yeah, no, it's going to be a good game, man. I'm looking forward to it. You better stay up and watch it.
Dude, I know. I'm trying to think of a way I can watch it. I have to get YouTube TV again.
I know, right?
Dude, it's so interesting though. I wonder if LJ Cryer. I, are they? What's the props on him? Do they have anything up? Do they think he's gonna snap? There's no way. I don't. He's not as good as Walter Clayton, man.
Yeah,
But
I mean, what other people are saying on the other side is like basically Florida can't beat Houston in a half court game. But obviously, Houston can't beat Florida in a shootout. So
correct, and I think that leans to the best player in the country. And that's why I made that analysis right at the beginning of this, where Florida has a guy that can control the pace of play. Right, that's why Walter Clayton Jr. is such a pivotal piece in this line. In this pick that we're giving you guys, because he is a point guard, he controls the pace of play, and he can put the game into the pace of how he wants to, right? Where Duke
yeah.
didn't have a guy that could do that, right? There's no reason up six with a minute left, you lose that ball game. And the only reason they lost that is because, right, they don't have a guy that can get the ball and get yourself in a situation, the shot you want.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, right? And that's not, once again, that's not a reflection of Cooper Flag. He's 6'9" and plays a three. Like you're Duke, you're a historic program. You should have a point guard that can bring up the ball and control that game. So
Yep, I agree, man. Yeah, so I mean, if we're looking at the spread, Florida minus 1.5, it's our play, right?
yeah, minus 105.
I mean, it depends where you get it at, but it's yeah, pretty much minus
Dude, I'm
minus
also
105.
I'm also on Condon to have a big game tonight. He's been
Oh, really?
struggling as of late. Yeah, yeah. I actually took a player prop. I think I have him over 15 points, which is a crazy payout. I mean, I took it as a long shot, definitely a long shot bet. But
Yeah.
dude, yeah, I think he's been in foul trouble. He hasn't been playing great, and I mean, Houston, for as physical and like gritty they are, bigs have played pretty well against them. So we will see how that goes.
Yeah. No, I
They're a
like it,
little
man.
undersized,
There's some minus ones out there too, so we'll say Florida minus one.
really. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
just straight up money line.
Yeah. I mean, it could push if they win by one, but
No, yeah, no, yeah, it gives you the push. Always take the number, boys.
I get yeah.
Learn that the hard way.
Yeah. Take the points when you can.
Yes, sir.
All righty. You want to keep moving it?
Yeah, let's move it.
All right. What's next? What do we got?
Dude, let's get into this tariffs. The Trump tariffs. This is gonna be a little bit new segment, new territory for us. So don't hate us. No, no, dude, it's an interesting time, man, right now. And I was at work today and I was like, dude, we need to touch on this. The rest of the world is touching on it. It's kind of a weird political landscape we got going on, and kind of interesting for us as we are the future of this generation, being how we're young, handsome, come on. But no, dude, I was at work today and we were all talking, sitting around, and there's been some really interesting discussions. A guy won't give out any names or anything here, but two guys are talking about how, like, their wives are pretty liberal and stuff like that, and pretty upset about that, and been to in group chats with their family, and just kind of dealing with this whole mess. How would you navigate, this kind of political climate that we have going on, and that sort of thing?
You mean like in relation to like your significant other?
Yeah. Because it was super interesting, right? Like he sent a text to like he was getting all these texts from his in-laws about um why tariffs were bad, why this is going to be like the crashing point of the economy. Kind of just very very doom and gloom, right? And he responded with an S&P article, right? That was, less biased, more just fact based, kind of everything that, like if he does this, how they will respond, kind of like GDP numbers, everything, a lot more basis in numbers rather than just a political opinion piece, right? And they got the in-laws got pretty mad at him, and he was kind of asking us what he should do in this situation. And I was wondering what your thoughts might be on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever you bring up politics, it's tough, especially with family. Um, Unfortunately, with kind of where we are in this political climate, like it's just very divisive. It's not like two different sides anymore. I think people draw conclusions about others' characters based on how they view things or what side they align with. Um, I don't know though. I mean, I think it's tough. What I guess what did he ask you this question specifically? I'm curious.
Yeah, he was just kinda talking to, like there's, like, 3 other guys in the office, and he was talking to us about it. Um, and I was just like, "Yeah, man, I wouldn't discuss politics with the in-laws," but, I mean, I think he did the right thing. I mean, at the end of the day, he's responsible for his family and his wife, and kinda just, sending what he believes in his household. I mean, and a fact-based article or at least what he thought of, right? As it being, his house and he's free to believe what he wants to believe. I was like, yeah, man, I don't really see a too big of a problem with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think yeah, I think it's interesting that the in-laws are trying to get into it as well.
Yeah, I thought it was super interesting.
I feel
But
like I guess it's just over the tariffs. Usually it's like
well, they have T what TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
mm,
Very anti-Trumpers. So
yeah, it's like whenever they get a chance to jump on him,
right,
they will.
exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. What are your thoughts on the tariffs? You like them? You see anything? What's a hot take you have for us? Give us a black and white take on Trump's tariffs.
I don't have any hot takes on it, but I think we touched on this maybe a few days ago, just in our group chat, which was an interesting conversation. But I mean, in the short term, like there's not really anything good, I would say, for the American people in terms of like prices decreasing immediately. But in the long term, I think it's a great plan. I think it's not just a great plan, but it's really something that's needed for our country. Because at the end of the day, like our country is only as strong as what we produce as a nation. And if we're not producing anything and we're constantly just, going abroad to get a lot of the essentials that are important to a country's infrastructure, for example, I think that'll come catch up to us. And we see wars popping off, um, across the pond in, Ukraine, Russia. We have stuff that's gone down in Israel as well. Like we just never know. So again, it's a long term play. I respect Trump for the decision, just because it's not something that's just immediate. Make him look good while he's in office here. Maybe not even these 4 years. We see the direct effects, but I think it's the right direction. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I think it's kind of. I don't want to focus too much on the tariffs. Even though I did see like Taiwan and other countries are already pulling back on um, their implementation of their tariffs, in response to us. Like they've already kind of working with negotiations and pulling back on theirs. I saw Israel did too. Other countries are, I foresee doing that. But even beyond that, I think it has ultimately crashed the stock market in some regards, which has been good. We have seen an increase in treasury bonds being bought, which I mean, ultimately, I think is Trump's goal in this. Only because I think with that, right, like increased treasury bonds being bought follows, reduction in inflation, which drives down interest rates, which then allows us to refinance on our debt, which ultimately is what Trump is trying to do, I think. I hate to speak for him, but he's not on the pod, so maybe one day. Um, but no, I think he's just trying to get those interest rates down so we can refinance on our debt, because our current interest on our debt is going to be our biggest expense in the fiscal year, which is outrageous to think about and not sustainable, right? Like you said. Um, and I just to have a drastic take. I mean, I think we have boomers, obviously, who have sold American products to foreign labor for cheap costs, and have really profited off that. And so obviously they don't want to see their 401ks and their housing markets crash. So I think that's why those economists, you're really, sort of this is going to be terrible for us. But I think in the long run, I think it's going to be better, because the road we were going down just wasn't sustainable when your interest on your debt is going to be your biggest expense as a country. Just a fiasco all around.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm glad we see similar on that. It's definitely been an interesting, yeah, I mean, it's just been interesting. I really didn't think that Trump would win again. I know you thought he would probably, but it's crazy that we're actually here. So,
Yeah, man, and I will challenge you for, you guys watching, like, don't be afraid to have, I mean, going back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like, don't be afraid to have these conversations with people. I think they're healthy, and talk about them, have ideas, be able to discuss ideas. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what, kind of growing's about. So you got to be able to articulate your point and discuss them across the aisle. Even if that's with your in-laws or whoever, right? Like, that's how you grow.
yes, sir. No, I agree. We definitely do all need to have like tougher conversations, I think, as a society. There's just too many topics that um, I think people are too, people want to walk on eggshells, try to keep everything amicable. But it's like if we're going to grow as a society, grow as people, we need to start having the hard conversations across the
100%.
board.
I
Um,
read an interesting book. I told you about it. It's called The Coddling of America, and The Coddling of the American Mind. If you haven't read it, I really suggest you reading it. But it basically talks about, right, like, don't shy away from these ideas and debating these topics with people. Um, your ability to handle them is what makes you an American and a person, and a more confident person. Versus, like, if you always just try to avoid any difficult, conversation or difficult experience in your life, that's just ultimately going to make you weaker. And it's not a truth that the book talks about. It's not a truth that, what doesn't kill you makes you weaker, right? And that's kind of the opposite side. The people that don't want to have these conversations, I truly believe what doesn't kill you makes you weaker, and that's not true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
definitely, definitely. No, man, I agree. It is, yeah, we just have to. There's no question about that. I wanted to get your thoughts on another current event.
okay,
I know we didn't have this in the notes. We're kind of just going on the fly here. But so obviously there was I guess we'll call it the tragic murder of a Texas track
dude,
uh,
I've completely
high
avoided.
schooler. You wanted to avoid this?
Yeah, no, no, no. I don't want to avoid this, but I don't know how much I can speak on it, because I mean, if you give me the breakdown of it, I've been kind of avoiding, kind of this realm. It's not on my X feed or anything at all, but
Yeah. No, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm only bringing it up because it's a lot on mine. But kind of wanted to get your thoughts.
yeah, yeah, go through it.
So basically, you have, and it's I think it's just a sad situation all around. I think for anyone, no matter what side you fall on in terms of this situation, at the end of the day, it's one 17-year-old that sadly did die, and then another one that's going behind bars for a very long time. So it's just a sad situation all around. But there was a track meet. This is in Frisco, Texas. And I guess the one kid who his name is Austin that ended up getting stabbed. He has a twin brother. I'm not sure what his brother's name is, but he has a twin brother. They were both at the track meet. I know Austin was also a football star. I think he had a 4.0, wanted to play in college, his dad said. But long story short, another guy was there, Carmelo Anthony is his name. Yeah, no correlation, but I think it's with a K, Carmelo. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess basically, long story short, what happened was they're at the track meet. Carmelo goes to another school. They're not part of the same school, but I don't know if you know how track meets work, but it's like they'll do it an event or have
Yeah,
events
yeah,
at
I
one
got
high
you. I
school,
got
and
you.
different schools will come. So yeah, I guess it was over. It was basically over a seating dispute. I think Carmelo apparently was somewhere near Austin's teams. I've heard tent. I've heard like just where the other team sits, and wanted to sit there. And the situation just escalated really quickly. Austin confronted him, told him he needs to leave, um, and then I guess Austin grabbed his bag. And this is according to Austin's dad, these events. I'm not sure how many different events are out there, but Austin grabbed his bag at one point, trying to, like, I don't know if he was going to throw it or trying to move it out of his team's area. And then I believe that right after that, that's when Carmelo had a knife on him and stabbed Austin in the chest. And he basically bled out in his twin brother's arms. So again, I think this is just a tragic situation overall. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah,
There's been
no,
a lot that stemmed from this.
I mean,
Just
I wouldn't say I have a take on it other than, I mean, this is why emotional men are a danger to society, really. I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, say what you want about what you see online, in terms of kind of what's out there. With, I would say, your TradCon red pill movements, but um, no, I think is a biblical message. Emotional men are a danger, and I mean, emotional on both parts, right? Like, if you can't have a normal conversation with someone about, maybe moving, and just immediately trying to escalate that into throwing a guy's bag or something like that. Um, I mean, it's sad. It's sad, but
yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. I think overall, like, there is a part of me, I see both sides, but there is a part of me that does get frustrated. Like, people do obviously want to jump on and make this a race thing, since it is a black and white guy.
oh, were they different races?
Yeah, so the guy that's did the stabbing was black, and obviously it was on a white guy. And there's been, I can't confirm or deny really the truth in terms of like Austin's background, but obviously, you have people of a certain group that are like, oh, he's a white supremacist, whatever, all this crazy stuff.
Hmm.
So there's been a lot of terms thrown out, and we don't have to, like, I hate, like, I don't want to comment on something where I don't know all the details. But
Yeah,
I think, like, overall, though, the message that I would at least say or react to, or kind of what I want to say on this, is I just think it's tragic. Again, I think it's just a sad situation, and I think the more that we politicize something like this, where again, a 17-year-old died, and you know died in his brother's arms, as sad as that sounds, I think it kind of is moving away from the heart of it. So
yeah, no, man, that's a crazy situation. It's kind of weird to see how that escalated so far at a track meet that you would think is crowded with adults around. Um,
yeah, and I guess that's one of my other questions from it to you is, like, do you ever think, and we don't even have to like speculate on this situation, but do you ever think, I guess, that there is a point where like, there is self-defense in that way? Like, is that excusable? And I don't know, like, what do you think?
what do you mean?
Like, I mean, obviously there's people that are saying Carmelo was showing self-defense
For
for whatever reason. I mean, let's say, even if well, we'll take it to an extreme. Let's say he's hit by Austin. And I'm not saying he was. We don't know what happened again. But let's say that, maybe even just a bumping into. I mean, obviously, there's a difference if someone's like actually on top of you, swinging at your face. Then maybe like, but that was not the case. We do know that
Right.
Carmelo did attack him with a knife. Like there's levels to it. Do you think there are levels to it? One, and then two, like, is there any recourse for self defense in this case, or is it invalid just because of the setting? Since this is a high school event, like, why do you even have a knife on you?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like that's where I'm a little confused. Why would you have a knife when you're at a track event at school? Um, so that seems weird. Um, I mean, there would be self defense. I think if a guy was swinging on you and being an aggressor, yeah, 100%. Like at that point, like, dude, that's on you to defend yourself. And then that's also as an aggressor, man, you're playing with fire there. I would, if that was the situation, although it would be extremely sad, like empathetic towards the situation and someone dying as a result of self defense. I mean, that's never an easy thing, but um, I mean, if it's truly over someone moving their backpack and telling them not to sit there, I mean, I find it hard. It's like we gotta control our emotions a little bit,
Yeah,
as men, right? Like there are better, you know, ways to handle situations.
yeah,
I mean, I wasn't there and I don't know the details. Like I said, I haven't even really been following this story at all. But I mean, I think my take would be is like as men, I mean, you have an obligation to, be stoic and control your emotions and lead. And I kind of can see both people there failing to do that. And then the dad failing to do that too. Like if he was truly right there standing, um, I don't, it just seems very bizarre.
wait, what about the dad?
Didn't you say the dad was there
Oh
and
no,
saw them?
sorry. No, the dad wasn't there, but I heard. I think the dad did an interview on a few
Oh,
TV networks and
okay.
was just
Okay.
recounting. The brother was there. His twin brother.
Yeah, I always find these situations when I see like fights, like too, like in a crowd of people, like you come sometimes see it at basketball games. It's like, where are the adults in the room?
Yeah,
Like you're at a crowded track meet.
yeah,
I
it's
don't,
weird.
but also I don't know. Why do you have a knife?
Yeah, that's
That doesn't seem like
yeah,
self defense to me. Like if you're carrying it, like a appropriate response to self defense there would probably just be swinging back, right?
yeah. That's what I want to say. I mean, again, I can't really speculate exactly on what happened, but again, I think, I mean, it's tragic whenever, especially I think kids are dying from something that's so in the moment, and really just, I mean, like you said, it's a lack of control of the emotions. And again, I mean, sure, whatever, they are 17. There's going to be consequences for the decision on Carmelo's end, but again, I think I, I wish our nation wasn't politicizing it so much. And I know you said you haven't seen it much on your feed, which is good, but it was all over mine. It's a current event, and I mean,
How are people politicizing this in terms of race? In terms of race,
yeah, obviously, since it's a black kid and a white kid,
what are
so
they? What are they saying?
um,
Like, what would be a take, like a political take that
yeah,
we could
so
debate?
yeah, so like obviously some people are saying, oh, he was picked on because he was black, talking about Carmelo, like he was basically kind of ganged up on. And then also the other side is, you know, Carmelo dislikes white people. And, kind of just, it's just on both sides. But again, a lot of it is speculative. I did hear in the interview, one of the interviews that the dad did, he came out and said like, that there's no way that this was, there's no race involved in this. And yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, I would watch the dad's interview. It was actually really good. I mean, it is
Okay,
hard to watch, but he kind of already said like, I already forgive Carmelo.
interesting.
He quoted that he's a believer. So it was pretty cool how he held himself together in this horrific time. But again, my perspective is just that it's like we're politicizing these tragic events anytime we can, and it's
Yeah, I always
annoying.
find it hard to politicize 17-year-old kids.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when they're dying. It's not
Yeah,
all right.
well, and kind of the only common ground is that at 17 you can just be pretty dumb and
Yeah,
immature.
Exactly.
all around, right? So putting a political spin on stupidity, um, and like at 17, you don't um, you don't have a frame of reference, right? So you don't tend to be super long term thinking. You kind of think in the moment. Um, so putting that these 17-year-olds were thinking about the race implications of some of this stuff just seems kind of stupid. It seems like, two 17-year-old kids were probably pissed off, and one just got too wound up in his emotions and probably stabbed the kid.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
No,
know.
exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. So, but it's really it on it.
Dang, man, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
All right. Well, let's get into some happier news, man. This weekend we got the Masters coming up. I know we're gonna hop back on sports. That was good though, man. I appreciate current events are always super important to talk about. So I think we're gonna be diving into that a little bit more as we move forward too. Um, but yeah, man, one of the best weekends for me personally. Um, I know it's a common joke and people are already joking about it, but really looking forward to the snap on Sunday as I wake up to find out who the winner is going to be. I think it's going to be a very interesting Masters. There are a lot of good golfers. The field is super crazy. I think this now more than ever, we don't really have a dominant golfer. Or we do, but I think there's so many dominant golfers now versus just like one that's always winning every week. That you kind of saw, like obviously when Tiger was on his reign, he was winning like how many he like I think he held the number one spot for like I can't remember how many years in a row, but it was a
Yeah.
crazy, crazy number. And then like before that, you had Jack, right? Like, and people were winning all the time, same guy. But now you really have parity amongst the sport. Um, no, man, I'm excited to see how our challenge goes.
Yeah, I am too. And if you guys want to know what challenge we're referring to, we talked about it in the last episode where we chose our six golfers and as well as a tiebreaker. I didn't give my tiebreaker, but it is 31. So
Yeah, man, dude. I
be sure to
was I
include
was
that.
looking today. and Shane Lowry seems to be like a dark horse pick. That was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive pull by you for someone who doesn't necessarily follow too much golf.
Oh, I
Um,
picked him. I didn't even know. Cool. Sounds
I-
good.
yeah, he was your last pick, I think.
No, I know. Yeah, he was. I do remember that. That's funny. Good to know,
Um,
though.
yeah, they broke down categories on like strokes gained to the green, putting strokes gained, and it was like I think it became like between John Rahm and Shane Lowry, two people you both picked actually, and I don't
I'm
think
sharp
Alec and
on it,
I were
man.
on either of them.
I know. I'm sharp on it. What's going on?
Yeah, dude. Guess you got a little kiss of Tiger Woods, I guess, and
Yes,
from
sir.
your dad.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's funny.
Um,
Someone said you look like Tiger Woods the other day.
Dude, I've gotten all over the place. I've gotten Russell Wilson. I've gotten Tiger Woods. I've gotten Cuba Gooding Jr. Doesn't stop,
Hey,
bro.
leave a comment. Leave a comment in the for us. Let us know what Cameron looks like.
Yeah, if you're watching right now, we got a couple people in here.
Yeah,
What's my lookalike? Is it Russell Wilson? Is it Tiger Woods? Cuba Gooding Jr.? Someone else? Let me know.
it's
So,
hilarious. Let's see what we get.
yes, sir. Hey, do you usually watch for the Masters? Do you usually watch like the beginning, or do you only watch like after the cut? Like honestly.
Dude, I watched the whole thing. I'll have it up at work. Not gonna
Oh,
lie,
okay. Fair enough.
production will be low come Thursday morning.
So it starts Thursday, obviously, and then it ends Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, they'll have everyone will be in it Thursday, Friday. They'll have the cut line. Saturday would just be the people who make the cut. Is your mom excited for the? Does she follow the Masters or does she just play?
Yeah, no, I know she follows the Masters. I think it's if you have any like, I think even if you play just a little bit of golf, or probably not even any, it's that one golfing event that everyone, I guess, all golfers probably pay deep attention to.
Dude, yeah, that's a good point. So this is a super interesting question, I think. In terms of, I mean, we just had the Final Four tonight closing up. We had the Masters. In terms of like sporting events, give me your rank of the top 10 sporting events in the world.
Oh man,
Actually, do top five.
yeah, I was gonna say 10 is
Yeah,
a
top
lot. I'll
10's a
go
lot.
top. All right, top five. I might be missing some, but I'm gonna try to do this. And then I guess is the ranking based on like what, like how just the overall hype.
Dude, just your personal ranking.
Oh, personal
Yeah,
ranking? Okay.
personal ranking of the top 5 best sporting events
Yeah, for
that you
sure.
would that you would want tickets to as a fan.
Tickets to a fan. All right. The Masters is probably not up there, if
That's wild.
I'm being honest.
No, I know, for you it's not, but I think
But
that's a hot take. Where would you guys rank the Masters?
yeah, it is a hot take. But I'm going to go obviously with the World Cup. I think that even though I'm not the biggest soccer fan, I've always thought it's super cool how it brings all nations together around the world in one place. And
That
it's not
Camber
only
one?
I would put it with number one, yeah. Just
Alright.
because again, it's like, yeah, it's so hype. And I can't believe it's gonna be in the US next year. So I'm excited to get to talk about that. We'll have to get J Mart on the pod for that.
100%.
But no, so the World Cup, definitely the Super Bowl is gonna be two. I think that's definitely the biggest sporting event inside of America. So and obviously football is my favorite sport. So I got to go with the Super Bowl at two. At three, I want to say March Madness. I don't know if I can include the whole tournament since it's a bunch of games. Well, so is the
Yeah.
World Cup, but yeah, we'll say March Madness. Four. What else we got? Not MLB.
Dude, NBA finals, Olympics.
Okay, yeah. Let's go with Summer Olympics at four, and then at five, I'm going to go with the NBA playoffs
Okay.
/ finals. So, how about you?
Dude, so, I think so I've been to a Final Four. Freaking awesome. The event they put on there, the conference they throw, just kind of like this what it does to the city. Super, super cool. But because I went, I'm I'm gonna I'm gonna put it at two. Final four at two. But I also want to put like the tournament as a whole because I think going to like the round of 64 would and just being able to watch games all day and seeing the upsets, that is also, I think, really undervalued. And I would probably put that at two. Like the final, like the tournament in itself at two.
Yeah.
Um, number one right now probably sits the Masters for me. Um, Only because it's so exclusive and getting tickets is so difficult. It
Mhm.
would be just like a bucket list item. Um, but really specifically if Tiger Woods was playing too, because like that's just like historic. Like the 2019 Masters that Tiger Woods won would be up there for probably like the best sporting event you could have gone to. Like the ticket for that probably trumps almost any ticket in terms of price value. Like Sunday at the Masters and Tiger Woods is in the last two pairings would be like incredible. So that's one for me. Three, definitely World Cup. And I think you and I, like, and J Mart, our buddy, he played college soccer at VMI. Shout out J Mart. Um, I think, I think trying to go to the World Cup will be sweet next year or when it comes to America. Um, so I have that at three. Four, NBA Finals. That would just, that's just sweet. I love basketball. I play basketball in college, favorite sport. Um, and then five, dude, I would say a World Series. I would love to go to a World Series. Like
Yeah.
some of
No,
the, it's like, it's America's sport, and kind of the time of year. Just like you see like the old environment of like the Boston Red Sox for the Yankee versus the Yankees, like that environment. I mean, I know they were playing in the
yeah.
semifinals, whatever,
Yeah.
but it'd just be sweet environment to go to.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially a lot of that is city dependent too. Like especially if you live in Boston or live in New York, like during
Yeah.
the times when they were going at it, that'd be really cool. So no football, right? Did you say anything football
Dude,
related?
only because, dude, I don't wanna go. I feel like it's gotten so commercialized, and I don't really feel like I don't foresee the Bengals really ever going to another Super Bowl. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't wanna go if the Bengals were in it. Like, that's so team and player dependent for me.
Yeah. But it's a Super Bowl, man.
Dude, but it's so commercialized. Like,
Yeah.
it's so slow, like, everything's a timeout, everything's a commercial, everything's a production, right? Like, I have no interest of going to the Super Bowl. I can even almost barely watch it at this point because there's so much going on. It's not about ball.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like
You got Taylor Swift in there.
yeah, like, it's the only sport it's the only sport at this moment that's, like, kinda lost its, Like the national championship isn't really focused, or the Super Bowl isn't really focused on like the actual game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And then I think that the college football playoffs, I mean, this is the first year with that new
Trash.
format. It's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And it'll have to adapt as well with NIL and everything else going. So, yeah, I agree. I can't really talk you off any of those takes. I have a couple questions for you,
Yes,
actually.
sir.
I always get these, interesting lists on Instagram and X and stuff. But I'm trying to see which one do I want to ask you. So, hmm. Could you name? We're gonna try to see if you can do this, but we're going with top 10 free throws made this year so far in the NBA.
Yeah, you got Shea at 1.
Yep.
Uh, dude, I feel like Austin Reeves has to be in there.
No, he's not on the
He's
list.
not. All
Nope.
right. Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is on the list. He is number 8. So you've got number 1 and number 8.
Okay. Mm, is Trey Young on there?
Yep, Trey Young is on there. He is number 3.
Okay. Um, is LeBron on there?
No,
No.
on there. No.
Is Jokic?
Jokic is not on there. So everyone else is, let's see.
Dude, it's so hard. I would say Embiid. Embiid's not in the league right now.
Yeah, so everyone's pretty much a guard except for number 9 and number 10, but everybody else is a guard.
Everyone else is a guard.
Yeah, so basically 1 through 8 is a guard, and you've
Dude,
already got
haven't
3.
is James Harden still on this list?
Yep, he's number 2.
Really? Still interesting. I do
Yeah,
not watch the Clippers at all. Is DeMar DeRozan on this list?
yeah, he's actually number 10.
Okay, good
There
pull.
you
Good
go.
pull. Excuse me. Is anyone from the Pacers on this list?
No.
No. Ah, dude, this is tough.
Yeah, let me see. So,
Oh,
let's see.
I was gonna say Jason Tatum, but he doesn't shoot that many free throws.
Is that a guess or no?
That's a guess.
Yeah, he's number 9.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So everyone else is a guard, 4 through. So you need
Dude, are
number.
you tapping? Stop tapping.
You can hear a tap.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm flicking through. You can hear that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me move my mic away. So 4 through 6, or 2 of them are still Team USA players.
Team USA players. Dang, why does that like not help me at all?
Number 4 and number 7, 5 and 6 are not
Dude,
Team
there's
USA.
no way Steph is on here.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, who was on Team USA? Oh, Devin Booker.
Yeah, he's number 4.
Okay. Who else was on with Tyrese? No, because you said no Pacer.
You just need 5, 6, and 7. And they're all guards.
Dude, I'm trying.
2 in the East, 1 in the West.
2 in the East, 1 in the West. That helps. I'm trying to think of. Oh, is Mitchell?
No, he's actually not, surprisingly.
What? Really?
No.
Huh.
But
dude, what the heck? This is wild. No De'Aaron Fox, right?
nope.
Cade Cunningham? Cade?
No, 2 point guards and 1 shooting guard.
Oh, Jalen Brunson?
Yep. He's number 5. You just need 6 and 7. 1 in the East, 1 in the West.
Is it someone on the Bulls?
No. These are both playoff teams. Pretty sure.
I think the Bulls are a playoff team, though. They're sitting at 9.
Oh, are they? Damn.
Yeah. You said no one on the. It's not Damian Lillard. He hasn't been playing. There's no way.
It is Dame. He's at 6.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even think he had a shot. And then is the other one like a rocket or something? Oh,
Nah.
is it? No way. It's John Morant.
He's a Team USA guy.
Uh, Ant.
Yeah, and
All right, finally got it. Jeez Louise, that
no,
was
you
tough.
did. You did pretty good. You got the hard ones. I feel like DeRozan, even Tatum is a hard one,
Yeah, those were.
especially DeRozan. Wow, I would not have got that. Um, so yeah, I mean, but that's the list right there. Shea's ahead by like 100 by number. Like that's insane. He's got 100 over Harden.
Yeah, Shays and I saw that. People call him the free throw king.
Yeah, is he on a different level than Harden? These
Yeah,
free throws.
dude. Oh, I saw against the Lakers. This is his first game to not attempt a free throw in 3 years.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dude, another leg of the parlay hit. Dodgers Nationals, no run first inning.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see.
Still alive.
It's still alive. End of the first, high scoring game. How many does Cade have? How many threes? 0. Frick. I'm cooked.
0.
I need 5.
Need 5. All right. You got anything else for today, man?
Nah, bro. Good run. Good run.
Yeah, I've got some other stuff, but I'm going to ask it on the next podcast. I've got a couple more things I want to get your take on.
Dope. Sports related?
Yeah, it's sports related. Don't worry. I'm not going to throw you in the fire again with a crazy current event.
Yeah, man. That's wild.
Hey, man. It's black and white takes.
Yeah. Always providing some black and white takes, you know? Gotta keep it simple for the folks.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching the rerun, please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. It'll help boost us in the algorithm. We're going to continue to stay consistent, going to get on our short form content. So be on the lookout for that as well. And as always,